set of predictions because in addition to Elimination Chamber, we got New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley on February 18th, coming live from San Jose. This show has essentially been sold out since it was announced because of the main event that was announced pertaining to it. We're going to just get right into this. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on the card. So let's get right into it. So we got an 8-man tag: Adrian Quest, Josh Alexander, Mascara Dorada, Rocky Romero versus Kevin Knight, Kushida, the DKC, and Volado Jr. Who do you think is going to win this match?
Hold on, I'm gonna need you to give me one moment to
You're good.
like copy and paste as long as y'all understand. Jordan sent the longest hyperlink instead of
The longest one.
running out the match.
The longest
So
hyperlink, okay?
I'm just trying to like hold, scroll, and highlight. But I'm gonna take. On. Can you just read off the names one more time while I get my list together?
Adrian Quest, Josh Alexander, Mascara Dorada, and Rocky Romero versus Kevin Knight, Kushida, the DKC, and Volador Jr. That's an 8-man tag.
Yeah. I don't know. Normally I don't really like care too much about 8-man tags, but if we're going off of this little lineup, I'm gonna go with the second team.
I'm gonna go with the first. I'm gonna go with Adrian Quest, Josh Alexander, Rocky Romero. I'm gonna go with those guys. I feel like obviously because of Access's relationship with New Japan and Impact, obviously Impact and New Japan being on the same channel, I feel like they're going to continue to do things that strengthen that relationship. And I feel like because Josh Alexander is the Impact World Champion, his team is going to come out on top, and I think he's going to score the pinfall. So now we can move on to this next match, the New Japan Strong Open Weight Tag Team Championship. This looks like it's going to be a banger. Got the Motor City Machine Guns versus the West Coast Wrecking Crew, which is Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Who do you think is going to get this?
I guess I'm more familiar with the Motor City Machine Guns. So I'm gonna go with them.
I'm gonna go with the West Coast Wrecking Crew. I believe that the Motor City Machine
Why?
Guns are one of the most accomplished tag teams in the history of professional wrestling. But they've been on top and one of the most influential for pretty much past 15, 20 years. And I think that they're going to put themselves in a position to put a new team over, hence the West Coast Wrecking Crew. So I'm going to go with West Coast Wrecking Crew on this one. Next, we got the Filthy Rules fight. Homicide versus Tom Lawler. Who do you got?
I like Homicide. I'm biased. I'm gonna go with Homicide. But what can you explain what is the Filthy Rules fight? What does that consist of?
I'm assuming that it is a no disqualification. What's this up? I'm assuming that it is a no disqualification match. I'm not particularly sure. Let me actually look it up of what is a Filthy Rules match because I don't want to assume what is a Filthy Rules match. Homicide versus Tom Lawler. I'm assuming that it is a what the heck? Here we go. Let's say. What is a Filthy Rules match? Based off of
very
like
kinky. I need an explanation.
it actually does. No, I think that it is some form of like I think it is some form of like non-disqualification match. I'm trying to see if I can like find.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up too.
Yeah, because I honestly don't know what a.
You can't find it. It's not too big of a deal. That's just a pretty bold name.
I think it is that. I think it's like a no
What exactly gets
disqualification.
filthy?
Huh? I think it's a no
I just want
disqualification.
to know what exactly gets filthy here.
Right. I mean, I think it's I don't think it's a matter of something being filthy. I think as much as it is a okay, Phil be right. Oh, it's a no disqualification match with the ropes taken down from the ring. So I'm assuming that it's like a MMA style type of situation because that's like Tom
Oh,
Lawler's.
that's so cool. Wait,
I
now I'm
think that
excited because that's like a perfect place for homicide with how
exactly.
reckless
So
they. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
I think this is I
Now
think
I'm
this is
definitely I'm double downing on homicide. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Tom Lawler. I feel like this is his match for a reason. I feel like once again, Homicide is a legend in the game, and because of that, he's going to do his due diligence and put Tom Lawler over. But we'll see. But yeah, I think that ultimately it's going to go to. I think it's ultimately is going to go to Homicide. But moving on to the next match, and this is something that I'm very excited for. Well, the next two matches, both of them I'm very, very excited for. We got the New Japan World Television title match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Clark Connors. Both of them are fantastic pro wrestlers, fantastic um, technical pro wrestlers. I want to know who you got on this.
I wouldn't be mad if either were one, but
Mm,
I really like Zack Sabre Jr. Like
mm,
every time I see him, I get excited, and I remember why I love technical wrestling very
mm,
much. So my bias is gonna swing me towards Zack.
mm. I'm gonna go with Zack Sabre Jr. as well. So we align on that aspect. I just think that he's having a good reign. I feel like you're still getting this championship established, and you go to one of the best, technical wrestlers in the world, and I think it's going to be a banger of a match. But I do think that Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win
Yeah.
this match. Now, here is a match that I'm very much looking forward to in addition to the main event. We got a singles match between Eddie Kingston and Jay White. Who you got?
Um, I see Jay White still going over because I feel like right now he's a white hot free agent that they're trying to put somewhere. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's still a free agent.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like it would only make sense that since everyone wants him, that they put him over and make him look great. As much as I love and adore Eddie Kingston, Eddie Kingston just regularly kind of takes the L's. Even though I love him, I love
Mm,
him. I want to put that in there. I love Eddie Kingston, and I expect nothing of this but to be a fun match.
mm,
And I'm happy he's on the card, to be honest, because he deserves it. But I feel like, yeah, Jay White's definitely just going over, just because again, like Eddie Kingston gets put into these amazing feuds, but he doesn't normally come off on top. And I think we're kind of used to that. And we kind of got to a point where it's just like, we're just happy to see Eddie Kingston do something because
mm.
he's that fun and entertaining.
I agree. I personally think that we're going to get I think we're going to get Eddie Kingston to win this match. I think that because Jay White is leaving, you put people over on your way out. I feel like Eddie is going to be more involved in New Japan, and because Eddie's going to be more involved in New Japan, he may go for some championships, he may be in some major storylines. And because of that, I just think that Jay White being a former uh, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, him taking the pin or him, losing to Eddie Kingston is only going to elevate Eddie Kingston. Jay White here has nothing to
That's true.
lose. Jay White here has nothing to lose. If he takes the pin, it's not really going to hurt him. There's already been rumors of him going to WWE anyway, where he would probably have to start fresh anyway. This wouldn't hurt him, and it puts Eddie Kingston over. Um, but moving on from that, we have the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship match between Fred Rosser and Kenta. Who do you think is going to get this match?
Between Fred Roster and Kenta, I'm trying to catch up where you're at because I went on a different page than you. And Kenta. I have no
Kenta?
explanation why, but I feel it in myself. I'm gonna
I,
go Kenta.
I actually agree. I actually agree. I think it's going to be Kenta as well. I think that he, you know, if Jay White is on the way out, I believe that Kenta is going to be one of the guys that steps up and is going to become one of the biggest stars in New Japan. He's already held that U.S. championship, but there needs to be someone who has a heavy presence in the U.S. that can kind of hold things down. I think Kenta can be that person. And I think that for the sake of, you know, viewership, for the sake of the fans, they've been waiting to see Kenta be a heavyweight title or holder of some sort since he left WWE. And I think that him winning this title is going to be that, you know, that way that he's going to become even though it's an open weight championship, it's the main championship of New Japan Strong. So I think that because of that, he's going
For
to win.
real.
And now for what the people came to see, the IWGP Women's World Championship match between Kyrie and Mercedes Monet. Who do you got? Kyrie and Mercedes.
I feel like they'd be an idiot to not have Mercedes win. As much
Mm,
as I love and adore Kyrie, um, you know, she's been doing amazing things since she's exited WWE. This is
mm-hmm,
going to be a great match and a good introduction back for Mercedes, just because she's been away from the ring in front of an audience, as far as we know, for like what 8 months, 8 9 months or something like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and this is someone that she's very familiar with because she tossed it up with the Kabuki Warriors.
Mm-hmm,
So I'm excited to see what this match is going to be like. But with the momentum, with the way that they've been hiding her and her moves and stuff like that, and they just gave us just a little sprinkle of her when she came out, just like last month. I just think you'd be a fool to just have her come and then lose.
mm-hmm,
I just feel like you can't. You have to ride off of that very cocky momentum. And plus, I'm not sure if you peeped this, but I was stalking her Instagram, and she had like a documentary come out about her journey and this dream that she had of coming to Japan, and had she has never been so happy. And that she's so grateful that she took this sacrifice, and that fans are actually supporting her
mm-hmm.
making this big decision to walk out, switch companies, and go switch literal continents, because that's such a bold move that a lot of people just would not follow through with, because a lot of people are diehard WWE fans and to each their own. That's fine if you want to move that way, but that you have to be a very gravitating force in your own right to have fans actually want to sit there and go subscribe to a whole new promotion that is in a whole different language and a whole different setup with a whole different culture and a whole new adjustment, just because they want to see you win over there. So I
Mm.
feel like if they do all of this and she does not get the belt, they are losing money. Like it would be the dumbest promotional decision I had ever witnessed. If you acquire someone such as Mercedes and you promote her in such this way, and they've been breadcrumbing us with like what she's doing.
Yeah.
We want to see what she does, and we want to see her win, and we just want to see Sasha versus all these other people, which it would
Mm-hmm.
help their division too. It would force people to watch because they just want to see Sasha wrestle and Sasha do her thing and Sasha mix up with other people. You're only helping out the other female wrestlers that are foreign to us Americans if you
Mm-hmm.
put the belt on Sasha and you have Sasha mix it up with them, because now you're proving that Sasha could still wrestle, can mix it up, and can handle a different style of wrestling, because she's gonna be wrestling stiffer, much
Mm-hmm.
much stiffer, longer matches. So it's gonna put those females over and Sasha, because that's what Sasha does best. She doesn't go into business for herself. Of course, this was like one move that she did do for herself, but she doesn't like make this drastic decisions like this without
Mm-hmm.
trying to help the entire promotion, all the women around her. So yeah, Sasha has to win. It's not that I think she should win. She has to win. Otherwise, you're flopping hard, Japan. Like you can't do this. You cannot do this to us. What do
to
you
kind of
think?
to kind of build off of what you were saying, even we talked about this, I think last month when we were talking about Mercedes and just like her appearance in New Japan, right? Talking
Yeah.
about just like the difference that that made and the numbers that came from that, right? Being one of the highest searches on Google, bringing in I would say bringing in more likes, I mean, not more likes, but more subscribers upon her Wrestle Kingdom appearance than Chris Jericho did when he had a Wrestle Kingdom match. Mercedes Monet
Yup.
is a difference maker in any company. And the appearance proved why she needs to be the champion. Because when you are establishing
Yup.
a new division, you need visibility and you need prestige. When we talk about women's wrestling and the
Mhm.
women's revolution, Mercedes has been responsible for some of the greatest matches in women's wrestling, some of the greatest moments in women's wrestling, has been advocating for things in women's wrestling that had she not advocated for would not be in place. And when you
Mhm.
got that in mind and you are New Japan Pro Wrestling and you're trying to embark on reestablishing your company to be at the forefront of this industry now that you don't have the Bullet Club buzz that you used to, or you don't have the stars that you used to, you need to do the right thing and you need to put the belt on Mercedes. That's the reason why I think that
Mhm.
Mercedes is going to win this match. I think that what she's going to do for this women's division is very similar to what Britt Baker did for the AEW women's division. Um, in the sense that once she gets that belt is going to be synonymous with her and her legacy, and it's going to put her company and her division on the map. And like you said, once she gets the title, I do believe that we're going to see her up against a lot of other women from a lot of other companies, right? When, one of the problems that Jamie Hayter has been having is having formidable opponents. Who's to say that we can't have a Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Monet match where winner takes all? And now we got belts going back and forth to and fro Japan. I think it just makes the most sense, and ultimately it just needs to happen because Mercedes is a star. So to kind of wrap that up, Mercedes, I think, is going to beat Kyrie. But gosh, shout outs to Mercedes for like betting on herself. And obviously, like this event
Mhm.
sold out just because her match was announced. Like before Jay White, Eddie Kingston, before all these other matches, Mercedes was announced for this event, and the event sold out. That should tell you how valuable she is. But we want to know y'all
She's
battle
that
with the Val.
girl.
She's that girl. We want to know what y'all battle of the
Mhm.
Valley predictions are. Let us know in the comments. We're gonna move on to the elimination chamber. So